Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another live edition of the Extra Point. As you can see, the gang is all here, so you know it's going to be an explosive show today. Got lots to unpack, lots to get into, but first, a word from our sponsor.
We are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. You can get your Colombian, your Honduran, or your Brazilian blend coffee, freshly ground or not, by my lovely daughter, Sasha Denise. On Facebook, she is Denise Denise. She also has shirts, mugs, stickers, although I don't really, do people still use stickers?
Heck yeah. I'm about to
Oh,
order one for myself. So
okay.
Right on, Mike.
Stickers. And the syrups to add to your coffee if you just want a different flavor to it. But again, that's May Jane's Coffee, MAEJANES coffee.com.
Thank you to our sponsor. Again, we have a jam-packed show for you today, but I want to start the show off with a question, and maybe y'all can help me out with this. Who did it better, Will Smith or Juwan Howard? No, I'm just.
I was gonna like, okay, let's get it.
No, Mike, you gotta answer for that. Who did it better, Will Smith
I'm
or
always,
Juwan Howard? I'm just
you know I'm
curious.
always so blue.
Yeah, Juwan Howard, he ain't taking no mess. So
Yeah,
I think Juwan Howard's more a response to where Will Smith kind of took someone off guard. So that's
Okay, Brandon. Now I remember when you're the one who actually broke that news to me on Twitter because I didn't see it because we were losing and I turned the game off. Who did it better, Will Smith or old Juwan?
Oh, Juwan did. Because Will, he was laughing. He was a part of it. Then his wife looked at him like, "Oh snap!" He flipped that switch. So I think Juwan did it way better.
The ones made me think of John Chaney when he stormed in on John Calipari.
Right, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
I'll kill you.
Shouts out to John Cheney. All right, I just wanted to get them warmed up because, ladies and gentlemen, these three esteemed panel guests have no clue what I'm really about to rant about today. So they're on their toes. They know their stuff. So let's get to it. We have a huge day of college basketball today. We're in the Final Four down there in Nowlands. We have a true blue blood festival going on. Not only literally, all the teams' colors are blue, but figuratively, four of the most iconic schools that ever came through the NCAA tournament. I am fired up about these matchups today. We're going to start with the opening matchup tonight, and that is Villanova and Kansas. It's a rematch of the 2018 Final Four. I happened to be in the stands that night because Michigan was playing Loyola Chicago, and I saw Villanova run through Kansas. I mean, ran through them. As a side note, they ran through Michigan 48 hours later and hoisted the championship to my chagrin. You should have saw me driving back home in the middle of the night from San Antonio. I didn't even stay the night. I digress. Will Villanova be able to do this again to Kansas, or will Kansas exact revenge? We come to you first, Brandon.
Yes, I think so. Because I'm sorry, I hate to say it, I'm not a big fan of Kansas. I was at the game when we played against them, and it's a lot of games they should have lost, but I mean they came up on top. But I will say that game, the Zebras helped them that game. It was a lot of calls that they did not call, so it should have went the other way around. But I just feel like Jay Wright and Connor Gillespie and company got some up their sleeve. They're on a revenge tour.
They really are. Now, Mike, we got two teams that are both riding 9-game winning streaks going into this one. Who extends it to 10 to get to play on Monday night?
I would agree with Brandon that Kansas isn't very impressive, I would say.
Really?
However, I don't think Villanova is either. Michigan played them. If they didn't shoot horribly, and and that was just bad performance.
Mike, I'm already down on Michigan from them putting us out in San Antonio. Why are you doing this?
I mean, I'm gonna speak. When you're in the booth, gotta tell the truth. So
that is true. Proceed.
But I think this is the year that Kansas does get over that hump of Villanova. So I think Kansas takes it.
You think Kansas takes it? Now, T-Sizzle, we have the irresistible force versus the immovable object. Kansas is averaging almost 80 points a game, but Villanova's defense is only giving up 55 points a game all season. Not just for the tournament, we're talking all season. And you know how they play. The Michigan game is a dead giveaway. Once they rebound, they slow it down and make you play defense for 30 seconds a clip. Does Kansas, first of all, do they have the discipline to stay in what they call the proverbial chair and play defense for 30 seconds of possession? Or do you think Kansas can overpower them with their explosive offense? Who wins out on this, defense or offense on Saturday?
Oh, I think in the college game, it's more geared to the offense. But before I continue, do you guys really consider Villanova as a quote unquote blue blood?
I consider them as a blue
10
blood
years.
because three championships in the last 6 years. I think that puts you on pretty hollow ground.
But they had their heyday back in the 80s when they were in the Big East. But before that, no one really, did we ever really discuss Villanova?
Look, I sat in those stands in 2018 in a damp, dreary Alamo Dome or whatever that place was. And I watched them, Jalen Brunson and the crew, just put hands on us. Shouts out to Drew Merriman checking in. The voice of the extra point intro, he calls them the Villanova violators. Oh, will Kansas be violated today, T-Sizzle?
I am inclined to root for Villanova simply because I'm with Brandon. I hate Kansas.
Let it out. This is a safe place.
I was like, dang, that's a strong word.
But
Right.
The thing is, my cousin balled at Oklahoma when it was the Big 8. So they did beat Kansas and Danny Manning that year because my cousin still has his Big 8 championship ring when they beat Kansas in the 80s. I've never liked rock chalk. I've never liked anything about Kansas.
Right, but okay, but if you had to put money on it, if you're trying to buy you a new handbag to go walk in the beaches of the DR, and you had to put $20 on one or the other to win your $200, which one you doing? Are you gonna bet with your emotions, or are you gonna bet what you feel?
I'm gonna go Villanova simply because I didn't even have Kansas in the Final Four.
Now, are we going by your bracket? Because your bracket looks like mine. I was burned to hell after 2 games. No, okay, all right, cool. Now, okay, so we got that one down. Mike, I believe you have Kansas still in it, right?
No, I had Duke. I have Duke winning it all.
He just had to I just walked right into that one. Speaking of Duke, in the game that everybody's going to be tuned in to see, we have the first ever tournament matchup between the biggest rivalry in all of college basketball, the Tobacco Roll Tilt, as we like to call it. We have North Carolina and Duke facing off for a chance to play in the national championship game on Monday. T-Sizzle, let's go clockwise. Who you got? You going with the baby blue or the devil blue?
First of all, it's Aries season. So y'all know who I'm going for. It's all about them Tar Heels, baby.
Can you explain what is that? What are they? How do they correlate?
The Ram.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, but you've noted that you don't like Duke at all, so you would have picked them regardless.
Yes.
Okay. Well, with that being the case, thank you, Mike, for speeding that segment part up. Mike, to you, you said you have Duke winning it all. Why do they beat North Carolina today?
Besides the fact that I had them winning, I think Coach K is just going to go down. It looks, kind of to your point, it would look better if he either won or lost, like regardless in the championship. So I got him moving on. So
you think they're like a team of destiny is what you're saying?
Right. They're going to get the rematch in, put it down.
Now, Brandon, the last time we saw these two teams on the court together, all of the talk was about Coach K's final game at home. North Carolina was in there. They had all of the legends lined up around the parquet floor, and North Carolina went in there and slapped them around. Do they do that again in the tournament on neutral ground?
No, I don't think so. I think this is where experience as far as coaching come into play. Hubert Davis did unbelievable stuff this season, but I feel like Coach K is not going to let it happen on the national stage again. I just feel like he's just going to come on top. And honestly, I want Coach K to win. It all will just look right. But also, former Sooner Brady Manick is playing lights out. Like, he's playing a totally different person. But still, like I say, at the end of the day, experience is going.
What do you know from Funny?
Now, one thing I will say is make sure that you only go and get your refreshments restocked on commercial breaks and timeouts. These two teams both averaging around 80 points a game. They're going to get up and down the court. They both can shoot the three. They have versatile bigs that can run the floor. Manic is a guy who I'm really going to be keeping my eye on, as well as Caleb Love, who actually exploded to actually get them into this game. It's going to be a tight one. But if we're going coaching, yes, Hubert Davis has had a great run in the tournament, but let's not forget a couple of weeks before Selection Sunday, they were a bubble team. So we shall see. We'll see how that turns out. I'm going to root for North Carolina because my brother told me he loved me this week.
Wait, and remember when you had asked us earlier what team did we think would be in the Final Four, and I did say Duke simply because I really believe that. I just ain't going to never pick them.
Okay, gotcha. Now, okay, so with that being said, who do you have cutting down the Nets then? Okay, Mike, you said Duke. Tasha, who wins it all on Monday night?
Damn.
Come on, you know you want to say it?
Go ahead and say it. Say it with your chest.
North Carolina, come on and raise up, take your shirt off. Visit around your head, people like a helicopter.
Yeah, North Carolina.
The other day, last weekend.
Them Tar Heels, baby. Brandon, who cuts down the Nets in New Orleans on Monday night?
Coach K. I'm saying it with a serious face. Coach K.
I love you, Damian Lamar Coulter. I love you, but I'll never forget how you taunted me after that timeout in 93.
Why you gotta bring that up for?
You taunted me because you brought up us losing to somebody.
Oh yeah, you know what? The Titans lost by a yard too. How about that?
Yes.
That was just wrong.
Hey, that's what happens. That's what happens.
Now, if this wasn't on Spotify and Apple Music, you get muted right now, buddy. You just know that. The thing is, I'm gonna root for North Carolina. But man, Duke looks like a team of destiny.
Yeah.
And if it's a close game and you that referee, you know your knees got to be buckling to blow that whistle against Coach K this late in the game. So I think if it comes close, I think it's going to be a zebra affair, like Brandon said about Kansas. Whoever matches up with Duke in the Final Four, if North Carolina don't knock them out tonight, they will hoist the championship on Monday night. Much to my chagrin, because I don't want Mike to win his bracket. Now, moving on to the professional ranks, I'm going to need some help with this one. Brandon, we're going to come to you first. Now, you can't talk professional basketball without talking about this man right here. One King Aloysius James, one LeBron Terrell James. Brandon, I need you to help me out with something. And this picture is a perfect illustration of what we want to discuss today. Stephanie Coulter checking in. Good morning to you, Steph. Now, Brandon, with just under a week left to go in the NBA regular season, LeBron James has two opposing storylines on the same track, like ready to collide. And I want you to give me your opinion on which one you think will be the prevailing storyline once it's all said and done. On one hand, LeBron James, as it stands today, currently leads the league in scoring at 30.3 points a game at 37 years old in his 19th season. Kareem didn't do that. MJ didn't do that. Kobe didn't do that. Dirk didn't do that. Karl Malone didn't do that. No other Pantheon great has played at this high a level this late into his career. 30 points a game. Now, it's a close race between LeBron, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. But as it stands right now, all LeBron really has to do, he can really just sit out the rest of the season now. Well, he has to play one more game to qualify games-wise, and then he's the champion. So with that being said, as of today, Brandon, LeBron James is 1,275 points away from catching Kareem. If he averaged a career low, let's just say 20 points a game to keep it even, and that would be a career low. If he averaged 20 points a game, he would pass Kareem around 60 games into next season. Now, if you're the NBA, such a hallowed and coveted record, you would think that would be the number one thing that the NBA will want to promote going into next season. However, if you look to your right, there's another train coming down the track. And that's this stinking purple and gold, how they are trash and how they will miss the play-in tournament altogether. I saw that air ball last night, LeBron. I saw it. You lost to the lowly New Orleans Pelicans, who have nothing to play for themselves, really. They have no Zion. You had Anthony Davis back. You had a healthy Russell Westbrook. You're back. You dropped 38 points and an air ball to tie the game. Your team is going to miss the play-in, which would mean that in your 4 years in Los Angeles, you only made it out of the first round one time. And that one time was in a league-shortened bubble championship to where you had a 3-month break to heal and rest up for AD before returning to action to complete the last, 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season. This summer, LeBron has an opportunity to extend his contract. Now, Brandon, I'm coming to you first. So let me remove this so we can see your face. What would be the more prevailing storyline this summer? LeBron playing at such a high level and on pace to break the record, which the league should probably promote, or LeBron's team stinks, it's all his fault, and will he even re-sign with the Lakers? What do you think would be the prevailing storyline?
LeBron team stinks. That's going to be the prevailing story because we have had this debate I'm going to say all season, but for countless of years between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And that's still been talked about, but they don't want to see what he has done. I'm not really a big LeBron fan, but I respect his game. That's
why I wanted to come to you with this, because I'm not objective on this topic. So that's why I wanted to come to you.
So, I respect his game. He's a great player and everything, but he's just not a player to me, in my opinion, that I will want to lead my team. But I feel like they're just going to put the negativity out there rather than the positivity of his, accolades, his accomplishments and stuff like that, because that's how society views things in media. The media are going to put the toxic things out of there before they put the positive things out. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm going with that, and I wouldn't say it's all, we already had this discussion. It's not LeBron James' fault. It's the freaking front office going to get the players that they went out and acquired. And that's why they're in the situation they're in today, which is, I'm loving it because we got my young Spurs, playing at a high level. We might not have a winning record, but we're playing at a high level and we will take the last place.
I totally agree with you on that. They are playing their best basketball to close the season. Pop got those boys going off. And is it Dejounte Murray? Keep an eye on that guy. That guy is a superstar in waiting. He just needs to get more national exposure, which will come with a play-in tournament, and if they continue to progress. Mike, your thoughts on this? Are people going to be talking about, hey, let's pump up LeBron to pass the Kareem's record like they did Curry, like they would do anybody that's ready to pass a record? Or will this be, hey, the Lakers stink, it's LeBron's fault, yada, yada, yada?
It's definitely going to be the Lakers stink. First of all, the Lakers and the Lakers fans created this of, we have to win every year. This is the Lakers. This is Laker Nation. We went out and got the best player in the league. Let's win some more championships. And on top of that, you got to go on the other side of, doing it at a high level. And honestly, LeBron's not really that impressive right now. I mean, he's sitting out games. He's resting, which is understandable. He's old, right? Like, it's understandable, but like they have him on this
pedestal. He's not that impressive this year? Is this because of his personal play or because of the team?
No, so the difference is you are comparing him to older players who played
all the way
throughout the season. Mm-hmm. But you got LeBron over here saying like, nah, I'm gonna take a break, and then he comes back. Oh, what's the minimum that I have to make? Oh, I have to play 2 more games to hit that to be qualified. Okay, I'll play 2 more games. Like, he's taking the easy route, and that's why he doesn't get any respect from people that have viewed older players. It's not the same. He's not a Kobe. It's not even the same right now.
Wow, this is some truth bombs being dropped, Mike. That was not necessary. I thought we were boys. Tasha, don't spare my feelings. Tell me the truth. What's going on with LeBron? Should we be giving him his flowers for ready to pass Kareem? Or should we be burying him with those flowers because the Lakers are dead?
Well, we should be hyping up the fact that he's going to pass Cap, but we all know sex sells. That's the sexier story, is him coming, running his mouth, getting the Rich Paul All-Stars together, and then they're failing because this is what he asked for. They are in 11th. The Pelicans are in the 9th place. And who? LeBron, AD. LeBron's supposed to be the be-all, the end-all.
He is.
And like Mike said, back in the day, you had players who played entire seasons at whatever age. When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retired, I remember in Milwaukee, they gave him a rocking chair. But Cap was still out there playing. He wasn't sitting on the sidelines talking about load management.
The man had a sprained ankle.
And everybody, it don't matter. Everybody wants to say, oh, he's better than MJ. Okay, we don't take this to playing off the... MJ played all games.
Did you see MJ in Washington? Did any of y'all YouTube, Brandon, YouTube, Michael Jordan Wizards?
But when he was with the Wizards, was he really expected to do anything with the Wizards? He was 137 years old when he was playing with Washington.
He was younger than LeBron is now.
It don't matter. MJ has already accomplished everything he needed to do. He was just trying to fill a void at that time.
Okay, so with that being said, why isn't LeBron provided that same grace? And the thing is, I'm just curious. I'm wondering.
He's not playing. He's sitting down. He's always complaining. He wants his way. He got his way, and now we see you got everything you asked for, and you still not out there performing. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing with what you asked for.
If you're leading the league in scoring, what does he have to lead the league in rebounding, blocks, assists too? This is a creative character on 2K.
Basketball is a team sport. It's not and you don't see someone. He's giving me the outlook of like someone that's getting ready to retire, where they're trying to use all their vacation days up. That's what
I've done that before. That hit home.
That's what he's trying to do. He's simply doing that, and that
hit home.
And it's bad. I'm sorry. I'm a diehard Spurs fan, but it's bad when you got a young team like the Spurs where they trying to put something together just to make the last spot in the play-in tournament, and you got all these stars, and they're not doing nothing.
Now, Robert says Bron could not even make the All-Star break in the 90s. Y'all agree with that?
He would have played hard.
He's a machine.
He would have wanted to be an All-Star. But then after the break, he would have been, this ankle, this hip, this hairline. Let me sit down.
They done went after the man's hairline. You know what? He's
got a beautiful head of hair at that. It's a shame.
This is remarkable to me. Now, Steph Curry earlier this season, who we all agreed was overrated maybe a month ago when we talked about Steph Curry and not having any signature moments to his name. The whole world put him on a super duper pedestal when he broke the 3-point record. Nobody talked about his inability to win a championship on his own. Nobody talked about any of that. Is that because he's not a GOAT and GOATs get held to a different standard? Like, I'm just trying to understand you.
No, because what he does is plays with what the hell he has. You didn't see him out there begging for people to
KD?
Come on.
What? Wait a minute, but who called KD? Oh, that was, you know what? That was the other guy with the dry mouth. What's his name?
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green. That was Draymond Green crying in the parking lot calling.
I mean, but
he said his own hairline is tripping him up. They all own it this morning. Go ahead.
I mean, but Steph played with what he had. He wasn't out here trying to put a super team together. He basically had already had a super team because he already won before KD got there.
Yeah, and Andre Iguodala was the MVP.
But check this out. Go look at the team.
He shut down.
Go look at the teams who have brought in homegrown talent versus the people that bring in stars. Go look at that and get back with me on that.
You mean as far as LeBron is concerned?
Yes.
Okay, Memphis.
But I'm saying,
I just wanted to get my Grizzlies out there. They're homegrown.
Yes, of course. But LeBron James, look, he only had one team that had homegrown players, and that was in the beginning of his career. That was the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay? From there, it has been, let me bring my homeboys over and we're going, play some ball.
All right,
Ladies
ladies and gentlemen, this is fantastic because I wanted to set the stage right now, and it's all going to make sense here when we finish this next segment that we're about to start. I wanted to set the stage for the. I'm not going to call it hypocrisy, but I'm going to call it the mind-boggling difference in how two superstars are looked at. And what I wanted to do was set the stage on how people really feel about LeBron because I'm not objective. I'm a Bronite. Y'all know this. You've been listening to the Extra Point for 2-3 years. You know I'm a Bronite. I wear my crown proudly. But as we transition into the NFL, I want y'all to remember everything that was just said just now. Let's transition to the NFL. There's an NFL superstar that basically LeBron without the backlash. And we're going to get to the bottom of this right here, right now on the Extra Point. Tasha, your eyebrows are crinkled. I got your attention. Let's come to you on this one. All right. There's an NFL superstar named Thomas Edward Brady.
I log out of this.
No. You stay logged in. Named Thomas Edward Brady. All right. Now, as far as comparisons with LeBron, they're both on GOAT status. They both have multiple championships. Their legacies are secure. They're both family men. They're both media darlings. They're both Madison Avenue gold. They both bring in money, just as much money off the court as they do on the court. You can't say NBA or tell the story of the NBA without talking about LeBron, and likewise with Tom Brady. Shouts out to my cousin Maria checking in. Cashville is in the building. Got Oklahoma in the building. We're doing it big. Now, with that being said, I just saw earlier this week, and I'm sure you all did as well, that Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach Bruce Arians announced his retirement, that he's going upstairs to the front office, conspicuously a few days after Tom Brady decides to unretire. Now, this man knew he was done coaching after the season ended. And when all the coaching searches was going on, we didn't hear a peep out of him. He was looking forward to grooming the next quarterback, is what he said after the season when Brady retired. Now, I don't care what none of y'all say on this panel. You can't convince me that Tom Brady did not have a hand in forcing Bruce Arians up into the front office for him to come back. It was a power play. He walked away from the game. The ownership caved and said, Bruce, I'm sorry, but we need Tom Brady. You're going to have to move upstairs, because there were multiple reports last season of their relationship, Tom Brady and Bruce Arians' relationship, being tenuous at best. Now, Tasha, let's bring this back to LeBron. I wrote down some notable criticisms of LeBron that you all just so aptly just highlighted in our opening segment. Let's recap real quick. Okay, so LeBron can't win without other stars, is what we said. He didn't have a homegrown talent. LeBron he wants to be coach and GM, and that he's a coach killer, that he's his way or the highway, and he destroys teams. He's disruptive. Now let's look at Thomas Edward Brady. Thomas Edward Brady, when he left New England, he went and chose the team with the best talent. He went and chose the team with the best receivers. He could have went to one of several teams, but he chose a team that had 2 Pro Bowl receivers, a stable of quality running backs, and an elite defense with an elite defensive coordinator. He chose that. He chose that over any other team that he could have went to. Nobody, I don't remember any criticism of, well, why can't he go do it in Miami? Why can't he go do it with the Jets? Why can't he go do it with Jacksonville? No, they said it was a shrewd business move for him to do it with Tampa Bay. Now, hold on, I got some more. Now, says that LeBron always trying to bring his friends on board. Who did Tom Brady call when he came on board with Tampa Bay? Gronk. He called Antonio Brown. 2 Arians did not want when they asked him initially. He said he did not want Antonio Brown. Brady said, no, I want Antonio Brown. We're going to bring him on, and they brought him on. Now, let's take a look at these 2 scenarios here. You have LeBron James, who got killed for bringing Russell Westbrook over instead of letting the front office do their job. They say, hey, LeBron chose his person. He's horrible. But nobody really gave Brady any heat when Antonio Brown went threw his clothes off in the middle of the field and stormed off. Brady was
I think
the martyr.
everybody did.
No, Brady was the martyr. Oh, how could you do this to Brady? He let you stay in his house. You can apologize to Brady. He didn't take any heat for that. They just kept rolling. And last but certainly not least, didn't Brady go to ownership and run Jimmy Garoppolo out of town when his coach wanted to start him in replacement? He did go to Robert Kraft and got Jimmy Garoppolo ran out of town, right?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, he did. Just like LeBron went and got Andrew Wiggins ran out of town and brought in Kevin Love. They do the same thing, but one is supremely criticized for his moves, and the other one is not. He's being a shrewd businessman and a champion. Tasha, you got the floor.
Outside of the obvious, but I'm not going to go there. He is LeBron. He is his way or the highway. When he didn't like what was going on in New England, what did he do? He took his deflated football and he left.
Preach.
And you talking about he's bringing on AB. That's a totally different thing than AD. Antonio Brown is a real talent. We just know it's just lacking up here. I'm not going to ever defend Tom Brady because when all of that was going on with Antonio Brown, he was trying to give the politically correct answer. And that's the thing. LeBron is not going to give the politically correct answer. He may try to give an answer that's going to save his ass, but he's not going to go out there and tap dance. Brady tap danced around every subject that was full of controversy. Now, the media, he may be a media darling, but he's no darling to me. You know, him and Captain Kane go a walking EEOC, didn't really get along. And I applaud him for waiting because he wanted his boy to get that job. Because all know
the walking EEOC needs some room to breathe. That was brilliant. I mean, we'll explain that after she finishes her thought.
Because he probably knew that if they had to open the search up, it would have been the same thing, and no black coach would have gotten an opportunity. Shouts out to Florida, state of Florida. Now, Florida does a lot of messed up ish, but they got 3 black head coaches for their NFL teams. Jacksonville, Miami, and Tampa Bay all got 3, even though that one in Miami don't want to claim he's black, but the one drop rule states different.
Mike.
3 black heads. But no, back to my point. It's like the media wants to put him on a pedestal. And we all know why Brady gets that differential treatment than LeBron. LeBron is in the media standing up against things that concern black people, that do concern things about, cops shooting unarmed or what people allegedly considered, not guilty black people. Brady doesn't do that. So Brady is just.
So wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. So you're saying that the difference is that it's not anything that they have to do around building a team. It's off-field things. The reason why one gets backlash and one doesn't.
It's all of it. And then Brady has called people in, and he's won with these particular, with his toys, with what he wanted.
Ask LeBron. LeBron has won a championship at every stop.
But like you said at first, the one when he won with the Lakers, that was to me, that's always going to be a tainted. I don't care who won that champ. If KD had won that, I would have been like, KD, you got that in the bubble. I would have been, and y'all know I'm a KD stan. But the thing with the Lakers, this was supposed to have been this is basically the Monstars. Like they came in and just took everything over, and they are underachieving with what he wanted. Brady went to a team.
Oh, that's without a doubt. That's a gross underachievement.
Brady went to a team that was already constructed, pulled and nagged a little bit to get what he wanted, and they did. They won that championship.
That's like LeBron in Cleveland and in Miami, actually.
Yeah. Like he left Miami. Miami was you already had D Wade and you had Bosh already. It's Wade County. They were already there when he got there. Just like Brady had a team that was already assembled, minus, AB or whatever, when he got there.
Okay. Now, Mike, let me come to you. Did Brady run Arians off? Did he run off Captain Kango?
Yes, he definitely did. But you made a lot of points that I don't necessarily think are accurate.
Accurate or that you don't agree with?
Accurate. I speak facts.
Let's go. Let's go.
So you're talking about him coming into Tampa Bay with a Pro Bowl wide receiver core Mike Evans was nowhere even close to being Pro Bowl. Maybe 10 years ago, maybe when he first came into the league, but he was not no Pro Bowl wide receiver. That dude was
Brandon,
trash.
Can you check his stats that Mike Evans had 5 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving years before Brady showed up? All right, next point.
Go ahead. Anyways, he did not make the Pro Bowl. Anyways, and then you also said Pro Bowl running back. Fournette was the one that was starting when he got in there.
I said a staple of capable running backs. I didn't say Pro Bowl running backs. I said a staple of capable running backs.
So it's more impressive that Brady won because football is more. There's more players. It's not just 5 people because LeBron has more control over 5 people or able to play his game. Tom Brady came in 11 on offense, 11 on defense. You have special teams. It's more of, and even the defensive players are like, we trust in what he's doing. He brought this, like, we're going to win this Super Bowl.
So how did Brady make the defense better physically?
No, it's all mentally. That's what I'm saying.
They were already set. Todd Bowles already had his squad set.
Let me piggyback off of Mike. What Mike was saying. You just asked him how did he make the defense better. Doing all that corona and all this lockout, whatever. Okay, we're going to meet at a local high school football field to play. Who going to show up if Brady says it? The whole team. Like Mike said, it's that's what it is. Brady resonates like that with everybody.
And LeBron doesn't?
Obviously, nobody wants to, like, his way doesn't work. Like, it's not
he has 4 championships.
They're losing.
Right.
We're talking about we're talking about this season. What was Brady's last season in New England?
First of all, y'all got me out here defending Tom Brady, which I never thought would happen.
No, I'm just saying what was Brady's last season in New England? Why'd they get rid of him?
Because he
coaching.
Because of what?
Coaching.
Because why? Because he didn't get along with the coach, right?
Right.
He didn't get along with Arians either, right?
Right.
We see a pattern here?
No.
Okay, next point. All right, let's do the accuracy check. All right, so that's 2. Any others? Because I dare anybody in the comments or anybody watching to say that Mike Evans was not an elite receiver prior to Brady's arrival. He's one of the main reasons
he was. He I don't necessarily say elite level, but he was very, very, very good.
I think you're muted, Brandon. I couldn't hear you.
No.
Nope.
All right, one more. Okay. All right. So with that being said, their styles of doing business are very, very similar. But yet Brady will receive no backlash for this move. He's not considered a coach killer. He's not bashed for bringing on his players, Gronk, AB. He even asked Edelman to come out of retirement. Edelman said no. It's the same thing that we just spent the first segment bashing LeBron for. The same intangibles apply to Brady. But he doesn't.
But he definitely gets a backlash. Like most of the nation, I would say probably like 75% of the nation hates Brady because of those reasons. Because he gets his way. Because he. Really? Yeah, I would say that's accurate. Yeah.
Okay, but from a media standpoint, is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so. I think the media is going to tear it up once football season starts. It's going to be preseason. That's all they're going to be talking about.
I'm just waiting what Adam Schefter going to say.
Brandon.
But like I was saying, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're okay.
Back. It goes back to ego thing. I will say that, I'm a diehard Patriots fan. I like Tom Brady and everything, but what else do you have to prove? Like, what else do you have to prove? Why are we still on this whole thing of, you retired, then, I took some thought out to talk with my family to come back. Like, what are you trying to prove? It shows that it's ego and then plus the coaching. Like, when you have a big ego and, your coach is saying one thing and you're thinking another, of course you're going to have that tension, So, it does I agree that it kind of resonate with what was happening with LeBron. You're trying to be in control of everything.
Right, and I'm wondering why. And you as a Patriots fan, you've actually probably followed the local beat writers more. You probably read more on them throughout the season, like some of the ins and outs. And the thing is, I want everybody to understand. I'm not asking the world to bash Brady. I'm just wondering why LeBron doesn't get the same GOAT status as like they sweep a lot of things under the rug. Nobody really brings up the Deflategate, but they still bring up. Nobody really brings that up. Mike, you don't bring that up.
Yeah, a lot of people bring that up.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. 75% of America hates Brady. That's why that's what they bring up.
But not 75% of the media. So you're saying, Mike, that the level of hate towards LeBron is less than the level of hate towards Brady. Is that what you're saying?
If not, it's pretty equal, I would say.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Let me tell you the first thing that I hear from people when I tell them I'm a Patriots fan. Are you a Patriots fan? Are you a Brady fan? I'm a Patriots fan. Tom Brady is long gone, and I'm still riding with the Patriots.
No, that's commendable because I can't make that claim. I'm a LeBron fan. When he lead the Lakers, the hell with the Lakers. I don't care about them.
He's coming to the Mavericks.
I don't care about Miami no more or Cleveland no more. I'm just a LeBron fan. I'm just saying that Brady, I see you. You LeBron without the backlash. You really are. Like when he wins his titles, it's.
You mean LeBron's Brady? That's what you mean.
LeBron is Brady. It's just time for the world to start treating him as such. Oh, that was an excellent transition. Go ahead,
also,
Brandon.
to clarify on your thing about Mike Evans, all his season in Tampa Bay, he went over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yes, and he was a Pro Bowler, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2016, 2018, 2019, and 2020.
He's from A&M, right?
A&M, yes. I saw him playing college as well. Shouts out to
not 2020 when he came in. All right, cool.
Yeah, it was a 4-time Pro Bowl. Never had less than 1,000 yards since 2014. That's every year that he's been in the league.
And
let's transition to another team and another quarterback. Now, we talked about last week about the Browns and their signing of Deshaun Watson. And Mike, we really didn't get your thoughts on that. So let's start with your thoughts on that signing and what you think should happen with Baker Mayfield. That's an upgrade? I would assume you would say, right?
Oh yeah, I've never been sold on OU. I mean, quarterbacks. Anyway,
man, that's the question that needs to be answered. Can you imagine if LeBron was accused of cheating like Brady? He would not.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like they don't.
Be awful.
See, we're going backwards.
No, go ahead.
No, but Watson's definitely an upgrade. Man, Mayfield or Baker Mayfield is just no bueno. It was another Manziel waiting to happen. It is. I mean, he's not good. I know y'all went through the list, which I agreed with most of them. But man, the thing on this one, I know we'll get into it, was the business signing of this one, which I don't understand. You know, I'm very business minded, and this one does not make sense to me. Guaranteed money.
So let me let the people see your face when we talk about this part, because this is where I want to go with this one. Now, the Browns really stuck it to the Ravens twice in one move. On the field, you get a superior upgrade at the quarterback position with a team that was actually getting in the Ravens stuff with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had success against the Ravens while he was under center with Cleveland. So now you bring in a much better quarterback. I would venture to say that I would rather have the tandem of Watson and who's the receiver from Dallas that they just signed?
Amari
Cooper. Okay, I would rather have Amari Cooper and Watson over Jarvis Landry and Baker Mayfield. I just think that you've upgraded tremendously just right there. You still have a stout running game. You still have a stout defense. Mike, you don't think so?
Man, I'm not sold on Amari Cooper. And I think it's because of his.
Right?
Well, maybe. The problem that I have with Amari Cooper is that he doesn't run his routes all the time. So, like, you know when it's not coming to him. Like, if it's not in the plan for him to get the ball, he's like
yeah, I think he disappears in big games. He disappears on the road. And Asante Samuel shut him down and made him put on the jacket one cold weekend in in New England. That was embarrassing for him. But moving forward, okay, so I think we can all agree that Watson is an upgrade over Baker Mayfield. Now, in off the field, I think they stuck it to the Ravens even bigger because of Watson's contract, $230 million guaranteed, Mike. And this is why I want to come to you with this, because you're a shrewd businessman. Now, this puts the Baltimore Ravens, who have a franchise quarterback, due for a contract extension this offseason. Steve Bisciotti, the Ravens owner, said, oh my God, what in the world are the Browns doing? If you're going to give any quarterback $230 million, it shouldn't be Watson first to do that. Now, shouts out to Ray Lax and Baker couldn't get it done, and Amari Cooper's a mediocre wide receiver. Yeah, but I still think he's better than Jarvis Landry because of the injury situation with Jarvis Landry. So 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. But off the field, the Ravens are in a quandary here. You have an owner who's publicly said that he doesn't think any quarterback is worth $230 million guaranteed. And you have a quarterback, even without an agent. I would venture to say I don't need an agent, Mike. If I'm your friend and you're the quarterback of the Ravens, I'm like, don't answer the phone unless they offering you $231 million guaranteed because you're a former MVP. Watson doesn't have your kind of pedigree or your win-loss record. What do the Ravens do with Jackson and this contract, Mike?
They have to pay the man. So, that's their only solution there. I think what's hard is the Watson having that contract even puts him head over Aaron Rodgers at that point, before the
right
redo.
With the 150 guaranteed, yeah.
Well, which is crazy. So he's not even he's going to miss some games next season. And so you're even paying this person more guaranteed. It's baffling to me at a quarterback position. He hasn't necessarily, he has shown success with the Texans. But are you willing to risk 5 years down the road of guaranteeing putting this man in a uniform every single game for 5 years? I don't believe that. That's crazy to me. But yes, they will have to pay Jackson. That's easy.
Tasha, you agree?
Remember when you sent this topic out, before you even told me what it was, I'd already kind of guessed.
Yeah.
But before that, I know we're all on Twitter, but everybody doesn't necessarily read a lot of Twitter. I do, because I don't get a lot of news here. Pro Football Talk had a discussion.
That's a great follow, by the way.
It's not only the Ravens. It's the Hasms have pissed off pretty much every owner in the league.
They messed up the market.
And exactly. And the only reason why I know this is because when Von Miller was getting his contract extension with the Broncos, it wasn't necessarily about what they say, the guaranteed money or whatever. How did they say it? Is guaranteed money or something like that. The issue is when you give somebody guaranteed money, that money has to be put in escrow in cash.
It has to be done in cash. In escrow. That is correct. Good point.
You don't know what escrow is? That's kind of like a savings account where you got whoever just managing your money.
It's like writing an online check. That money better be there when you write it.
That's the issue. By you giving him, not because of the off-field issues, not because he missed the nasty man, not that. But any other quarterback, especially someone like Lamar Jackson, is going to command more money. So all of these NFL owners are going to have to come up off of that cold, hard cash.
Right. And all billionaires aren't created equal. Everybody doesn't have Jerry's ability to liquidate assets. Brandon, does Lamar Jackson's playing style scare you away from a $240 million guaranteed contract?
That's a good question, actually. That could go either way because, he's more of a dual threat, running quarterback. And that's easier of getting injured, of course. But, that's kind of the same with Deshaun Watson. He's kind of the same style, he just doesn't run as much as Lamar Jackson does,
Right.
But, Brandon, he didn't have a choice in Houston. And
they never addressed the line in Houston. And
but
he didn't
also,
have a
you know who didn't address the line? the Cincinnati Bengals. But Joe Burrow got sacked 11 times a game.
But they learned that this season.
They should
learn that
They
this
loaded up
season.
this
Trust me.
season. You're right.
They learned that. But yeah, I mean, the thing about it is like, I'm like with Mike, like they should pay, LJ. Like it's time for it, But as we all have agreed, they Cleveland has messed up the market, and now it has everybody wondering, like, okay, now if you look at it, everybody's trying to top the money because one quarterback get this. Oh well, I played better football than they did, so I need even more guaranteed.
Right. Especially when you consider him missing all of last season as well, and you just walk into a $230 million game. Like Mike said, that's just crazy. That's just crazy.
We never got any kind of explanation as to why the Texans did not play him. So basically, they just gave him free money just to go on vacations because he took several vacations.
Mike, hold up, y'all. Mike, I need you to repeat this slowly because this is where I was going with this. I'm glad that you finally hit on where I think this is headed. Please repeat that.
I said there's going to be a lockout soon.
You heard it right here on the extra point. There is going to be a lockout soon because of this. Please explain, Mike.
Because from a business side, you have to take control over this situation. And someone, I mean, if it's not Baltimore, that's fine. Like I agree that Lamar needs to be paid for what he's done in Baltimore. But moving forward, someone has to be like, no, we'll take a 3-year deal with this rookie quarterback or whoever talent because we believe that they're less injury prone. And then these newer or these pro players that have been there for 10 years are like wanting a 5-year deal. They're like, nah, so like it's going to be like this. And so they're not going to agree. And so all of a sudden they're going to be like, okay, well, we'll do a lockout then. Nobody gets paid.
Hell will have frozen over before the NFL owners allow the NFL to become the NBA, where everybody's getting guaranteed money. Now they do it, they hide it, and they do it in little pockets here and there. But to Tasha's point, they don't do it to where they have to put all the money up front in escrow. They may guarantee 1 year of the contract, or maybe the first year of the contract, or maybe in the second year they go ahead and extend you and turn your contract that year into a sign-in bonus and give you your guaranteed money that way. They have ways to finagle the money to get you your money up front. But when you say I can walk away tomorrow and you owe me $230 million, that's like Major League Baseball type stuff. And what does Major League Baseball have, Mike? A lockout.
Lockouts
right. I mean,
regularly.
That I don't wish ill upon him. The best thing that could happen is if something comes about these 22 accusations and he's not ever able to play again. Because that's the only way. Because like you said, Lamar Jackson is a far better talent.
And he has more accomplishments.
Right. So you mean to tell me that he's not going to want that type of money?
Oh, I'm not answering the phone. Look, Mike will be, I'm sure Mike will tell me, look, Paul, this guy, we're going to put it in bowling issues. By the way, did y'all know that Mike picked up a split in the 10th frame on Monday in our position round to win in the last frame?
Like you picked up a 17?
He picked up a split.
No, it was close, though.
This dude picked up a split in a close game. We needed every pin. Y'all, I ran up and jumped in his arms like Magic did Kareem in 1984. I was like, that was amazing. I got sidetracked there. I digress. I'm going to go ahead and say this. And I don't know if Mike can say it. I don't know who else can say it, but I'm going to say it. I'm not paying nobody who runs for 1,000 yards in a season, who runs that much. I'm not giving you $230 million guaranteed. I don't know how I'm going to have to move you. I don't know if I'm going to have to franchise you and unload you. I don't know. Like, you're not, I'm not doing that. But
well, you said it best.
I'm not taking less than 230.
You said it best because you compared it to the NBA contracts now, and that's what's broken about the NBA right now. Is that people can get their guaranteed money, like LeBron, and sit out certain games with a ankle injury and not have to play. Like fans are paying tickets to go watch the Lakers play, and you got to wait until the morning or afternoon to figure out if he's going to play or not. Like, that's not right.
And that's
at least
usually they do it at the last second.
At least in the NFL, you know when Tom Brady's going to play because Tampa's playing. Tom Brady's going to play.
Right. Fair enough. Brandon, your thoughts?
I mean, like Mike says, you're playing as a fan, you're paying this money to go to a game. Like prime example, when Tom Brady played the Patriots, everybody was going for those tickets. And what if Tom Brady said, you know what? I'm not playing today.
That just gave me chills that would be such a disaster. Like, they would tear that stadium up.
Yeah, it's like people pay for these noticeable games. Record-setting games, such and such about to break a record or he's about to accomplish this. They go to games for that. Like me, like when I was going to some of the OU games, I picked and choose which games I want to go to, not because it was OU playing, but maybe that opposing team we're playing had this star player that I wanted to see.
Brandon, that was a ding, 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 ding moment. As a Dallas resident and a Memphis Grizzlies fan, I will go to the AAC downtown because LeBron's coming in town, or because Kobe's coming into town, or because Giannis is coming into town. People you won't get to see every day. Of course, Luka is box office in its own right, but you're right. You want to circle certain dates on the calendar when you get to see superstars that you don't get to see play live every day. Now, Tasha, let me round it back to you to close this out. We're at a stalemate here. Mike and myself is like, as a businessman, I'm not putting $240 million up in escrow for somebody who hurt their ankle last year and missed 6 games running the damn ball. You can tweet me, you can at me. This was PL Culture that said this. It was not Brandon Lewis. It was not Michigan Mike. It was not T Sizzle. I'm not paying a running quarterback $230 million guaranteed. We're going to have to work something else out because there's too much of an injury liability for me to be on the hook for that kind of jack. But if you're if you're Lamar Jackson's mama, who's his agent, why would you take less than $230 million guaranteed? Because somebody will pay it, right? Or not.
So we all know it's 2 owners who will pay that money. One is old Jera.
Come on now. Come on, Lamar. Come home.
He don't have no more money.
And the other one is the
so fast.
and
I'm a hypocrite. I know. But I'm a fan. Tasha, bring it on home. Bring them all home to Dallas. Come on, Lamar. We'll pay you.
The other one is the late great Al Davis, because Al Davis
he would have to.
Baby. Now I don't. His son makes a little questionable calls, like giving old crazy that $10 million contract to coach. Those are the only 2 teams that I know would be like, yeah, we got this, and they're gonna be like, Dak who? You take your yogurt and get out of here.
Get your Lee's famous recipe and scoot. Get now, Mike. I want you to have the last word on this because I don't want this to get lost in the conversation of where you say this is headed, because I want this to be on record right here on the Extra Point. Where is all these contracts headed, Mike?
Well, there's going to be a lockout. Yeah, they're going to disagree. If it's not next year, I mean, it should be next year, but it's not going to happen. It'll probably be a couple of years from now. Yeah. Once everything, because this is kind of the starting point. And that's why everyone's like, everyone's waiting for the next move. So if Lamar happens, then that adds another one. And then all these other quarterbacks that their contracts need to be renewed, that's what they're going to be asking for. And then that's when it's going to happen.
I want to take this time before we give our closing shout outs to give my shout out first to the Extra Point crew. They had no idea what I was throwing at them today. They showed up, turned their cameras on, and gave us that work today. Good conversation. Good intellectual conversation today. I am very, very, very proud of you. This was an experiment, and you all passed with flying colors. I'll put y'all up against the First Take crew, the First Things First crew. I'll put you up against the Colin Cowherd and that lady with the big boobs. Any of them. I'm riding with the Extra Point crew. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so proud of y'all today. T Sizzle, who you shouting out on the way up out of here?
I got 2 shout outs, but they're actually in the same place. My shout outs go to A Squared. If you don't know, that's Ann Arbor.
Free game today. Hey.
Kaepernick.
One for Coach Harbaugh, who is made Colin Kaepernick a special visitor at the game. And second,
does he have any eligibility left?
I know. And second is to an actual player, one Mr. Miles Pollard, who is a cornerback. I think he graduated early. He went to Ravenwood High School, which is also the same high school that Van Jefferson went to, which is also my daughter's rival high school, but that's neither here nor there. I want to give a shout out to Miles, his mother, Shantae, and his father.
Is it the real Shantae or Roxanne Shantae?
My name is Shantae. And but
I'm sorry.
anyway, and they are.
Brandon is like, who?
And they are in Ann Arbor to watch their son Miles participate in his first spring game.
All right.
As a Wolverine.
All right, go blue. Mike, any shout outs on the way up out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to my lovely, strong wife. She's actually in the living room, but she's working really hard on this fireplace. We're redoing our fireplace, and with the help of her dad, Danny. So
you tell me she was a brick mason.
Wait a minute. Hey, Mike, Mike,
I heard that.
Gonna lay down that bearskin rug tonight in front of that fireplace. It's gonna be 40 degrees tonight. All right, Mike. Shouts out to Stacy. That is my sister all over the death. Brandon, who you shouting out on the way up out of here?
I want to give a shout out to my alma mater, their soccer team, Trimble Tech High School out of Fort Worth, Texas, as they defeated one of our rivals, Arlington Heights, to go on to regionals.
Brandon, is there anything better than beating your rival?
Yes, in the playoffs at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're off to
North Carolina deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're off to the regional tournament. So shout out to he was my geometry teacher, now Coach Williams, and his coaching staff and the Bulldogs on advancing to the regional tournament.
All right, there we go. So we have Duke versus North Carolina tonight, Villanova versus Kansas. We got all kinds of stuff going on next week. We'll be talking about the NBA playoffs because the regular season will be coming to a close next Sunday. So until then, we'll see y'all in about a week. Till then.
My birthday is Monday.
And happy birthday to T. Sizzle on Championship Monday. You going to New Orleans? Brandon, good job by you. T. Sizzle, happy early birthday. And Mike, enjoy that fireplace tonight. Aha. We'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all for watching.